Hey everybody, what's up? First of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the first episode of the Steam Station. I'm Ian, I'll be your host, and in the Steam Station we bring you 5 cool or awesome games that have come out in the past week that I think you should know about. We'll be starting off this week with Valley. Valley is an action-adventure first-person game created by Blue Isle Studios. The game's premise is basically that you have this thing called the Leaf Suit, and what it lets you do is dash and jump around through the beautiful environments, but on top of that it also has a mechanic where you can take life from a living creature and give it to another creature or vice versa. A lot of the game's puzzles revolve around this unique mechanic, so if you're into like puzzle-solving games or action-adventure games, this might be the perfect game for you to check out. The price of Valley is only about $20, so that might be a bit steep for you. You might want to pick it up on sale, but I do think for this kind of music and the visuals you get, it's definitely worth the price. Next up is N++. It's like a ninja platforming game where you avoid lasers, avoid spikes, avoid getting blown up, all that good stuff. So this concept is really redundant and overdone, I'll admit, but the reason we're including it is because there's 2,360 levels, so there's a lot to go through. And on top of that, there's a level editor, there's online leaderboards, and you can do local multiplayer with your friends. So there's quite a lot to experience through this game, and on top of that, we're putting it here just because of the sheer, the simplicity of it. It's very pick up and play. You don't have to like worry about a super complicated storyline or, fucking whatever. It's just you pick it up and you play and you have a good time. It's great. It's awesome. You should play it. It's fantastic. Would recommend. In fact, I am recommending it. We're also trying to include a game that's either free or cheaper simply because we're doing a list of games that have just come out, meaning a lot of these games aren't going to be on sale or they're going to be higher price points or, whatever. So something on the cheaper side might be good for some of you looking for something, cheap and quick to pick up, This week's choice is Valia. Valia is a walking simulator puzzle game where you kind of just walk around, gather your items and stuff for puzzles, enjoy the beautiful scenery. If you're looking for a beautiful game where you can just kick back and relax, Valia might be the choice for you. And now I'm going to give you guys a game that's on the opposite side of cheap. It's going to be a bit of a more expensive game, so usually these games have better graphics, more gameplay, bigger storylines, or better voice acting, or whatever it may be. And this week's choice is Attack on Titan: Wings of Freedom. Attack on Titan is actually $60, so I'd probably recommend picking it up on sale if you're not like hugely into the series. But that being said, even though I'm not a fan, I can definitely say this is a really good game. The graphics are beautiful, it's a buttery smooth 60 frames per second at 1080p. The voice acting is the original cast from the anime, if I'm not mistaken. However, I think it's only the Japanese voice actors and not the dub voice actors, so that might be a turnoff for some of you. I personally think the dub is not as good as the original voice actors, but to each their own. One of the really cool things about this game is that not only does it follow the storyline of the first season of the anime, the first 25 episodes, it also has nearly an identical art style to the anime, so if you're big into the anime's art style, this game is going to be really good for you because you're going to feel right at home with it. And while this game does have online co-op, it does not have local co-op, so if you're going to be playing with your friends, they're going to need a copy too. The game has solid gameplay that revolves around quick aerial combat, swinging around, kind of like Spider-Man if you will. And while that might sound kind of like, oh shit, it's an anime game that's revolving around flying around, that's going to be hard to control, it's going to control horribly. From what I've read and the reviews I've seen, the game controls fantastically. The camera can be a bit wonky, but nothing's too serious, nothing too bad. This is definitely a game to pick up if you're a fan of the series, and even if you're not, this might still be a good pickup because the game does have solid gameplay, so Attack on Titan: Wings of Freedom, highly recommend. Probably going to be the pick of the week. The final game that's going to be on this week's list is Pan Pan. Pan Pan is another puzzle game that's a bit more on the abstract-y side, so if you're into like indie abstract games, this is going to be a good pickup for you. Pan Pan revolves around using the environment to tell the story of the game as opposed to using narrative or, words or whatever. So this is a really fun game to, just pick up, relax, just go through it and make what you want of the game rather than having a definitive narrative being shoved down your throat. Pan Pan is a fun game if you want to just pick up something, do some puzzles, relax, and, whatever. Very similar to Valia, except Pan Pan is very different in terms of graphics and gameplay. So you can kind of have one or the other. Both are good choices. I would definitely recommend either one. So that's the last pick of the week. That's it for this week, guys. I look forward to bringing you another Steam Station episode next week. And if you guys have any suggestions, comments, things that could be done better, games you might want to see recommended, games you don't want to see, like if I recommend No Man's Sky, you're obviously going to know it's a game that everybody's already hyped up about, so that wouldn't maybe be a good idea. Or maybe you want to know what the popular games are. Yeah, I don't know what you want. Feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm always reading the comments, always trying to reply to everybody, so if you have any suggestions for me, feel free to comment down below. If you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. It definitely helps me out. It lets me know I'm on the right track. As always, is it really as always if this is the first episode? Well, thanks for tuning in to the first episode, guys. Much appreciated. Feel free to tune in next week. Would appreciate it if you did. Wouldn't blame me if you didn't. This has been Ian here, signing off. Later!